Hello guys, this is Recap Snout here. Today's story is about how man is reborn to get his beloved back in his life. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. In the introductory scene we see a man named Shudeep, who is the owner of a construction firm called Shudeep Construction, who was practicing gunfiring. On the other side BWE are also introduced to the leading lady of the movie who was named Bindu. Bindu is a micro-artist by profession and we see her working on a locket, which could make two hearts meet. While working she thought that something was missing. In the meantime, there was a power cut. After the power cut we see Bindu working with the locket under the moonlight sky. Here we are introduced to Bindu's man of dreams called Jani. As it was dark, Jani attached a silver paper to the cable antenna and attached the torchlight to it so that Bindu could complete her task. Here we get to know that both Jani and Bindu liked each other, but Jani was being tested by Bindu. Bindu ran an organization for kids for which they required donation, and Jani donated 15 rupees every month just in order to meet Bindu. Suddenly one day we see that Shudeep Construction wants to donate to the organization, and for this reason Bindu goes to the office of Shudeep Construction. Here we see Shudeep was not in the mood to meet anybody, but when he sees Bindu, he gets attracted to her and agrees to meet her. Here we see that Shudeep donates 15 lakh to the organization, and just to be close to Bindu, he collaborates with them. The scene then shifts to the next day, where we see Bindu and Shudeep having coffee and Shudeep was trying to woo her. But as Jani was also there, Bindu continuously stared at him and was ignoring Shudeep. This angers Shudeep a lot, and he plans to beat Jani. The scene then shifts to that night where Bindu got late while working. She came outside and saw that her bike needed to be refilled, but as the road was empty she felt afraid to go alone. So she sends Jani a blank message. We then see Jani comes running to Bindu, and from here the romance starts. But this story was short-lived, as one night Shudeep's men kidnap Jani and beats him black and blue. Jani is taken aback and asks why he is being beaten by someone he doesn't even know. To this Shudeep replies girls die on her, and due to Jani, Bindu was not noticing him at all. In response to this, Jani gives a counter threat of killing Shudeep if he was seen near Bindu. This angers Shudeep further and he strangles Jani via his foot and kills him. In the next morning when Bindu comes to meet Jani, she finds her lying dead and she is shattered by this. After a gap of 10 days we see an wasp larva. The wasp larva was none other than Jani. It so happened that his soul got inside the wasp larva while it was in the drain. Even after being a wasp, Jani could remember some distant memories from his past. It was very difficult for him to live like this, as we see him being coming under a car or being beaten by a cricket ball. In this situation we see Jani the wasp reach a place to have some water and falls into the water. The place he was in was Shudeep's office. Shudeep was trying to have a cup of green tea, but he is interrupted by a call. After seeing Shudeep, Jani remembers everything and he got angry and wanted to kill Shudeep. After some time Jani remembers Bindu and flies to her. In the next scene we see Bindu remembering Jani holding his locket. Jani tries to convince Bindu about who he was, but as he was in the wasp form Bindu couldn't understand or recognize him. We then see that Shudeep enters the office while Bindu was working and tells her it's no use remembering those who have left us, as they won't come back and forget him and try to move on. Hearing this, Bindu bursts into tears and Shudeep consoles her. At this very moment, we see a comic scene where Jani enters into Shudeep's ears and nostrils and forces him to leave. We then see that while he was taking steam bath, Jani again annoys Shudeep by getting inside his mouth or nose. As Shudeep was jumping around, the steam machine got loose and he almost crashes into a sharp rod. Shudeep is then freed by his servant, but as Jani was flying around, Shudeep in anger unties his towel and keeps following Jani in a naked state and reaches outside where everyone was having a meeting. In the next scene, we see Shudeep informing Bindu that he knows somebody in Delhi who could help the organization, and he is going to meet that person and offers Bindu to accompany him, which she agrees to do on request from everyone else. The funny thing is Jani was also hearing this conversation, and while at night Shudeep was asleep, he started annoying Shudeep and didn't let him sleep. We then see Shudeep being awakened by Bindu, who reminds him of their trip. Then Shudeep rushes to the airport but gets stuck in traffic when Bindu again calls to inform him that the flight was delayed. Jani, who was following Shudeep, hears this and plans to annoy the traffic, who waves to get rid of the wasp, but people think it as green signal. After this we see Shudeep meet an accident created by Jani, who again warns him. We then see Shudeep being attended by doctors who advise him medicine, and he also gets an ant repellent. Then we see Bindu come to meet Shudeep where Jani almost gets killed. Jani again regains normalcy when he is in contact with water droplets. Next, we see that the locket that Bindu had created for Jani got torn, so she started crying after coming home. Jani uses the teardrops to inform Bindu of who he actually was. Bindu is surprised and questions how this event took place. We then see Jani pointing at a picture of Sudeep and informs Bindu how he killed Jani in order to gain Bindu. After hearing this, Bindu understands Sudeep's reality, and along with Jani plans to kill him. After this, we see Bindu designs a mask and gloves for Jani that was immune to spray. After this, Jani makes Sudeep's life a living hell. While things were going like this, one day Jani notices a cannon which he informs Bindu about. After this, we see Bindu fill a small basket with explosives, which Jani could use to kill Sudeep. But one day we see a security in charge puts a tissue around it and foils Jani's plan. We then see Jani and Bindu enjoying each other's company, and Sudeep meanwhile got his house windows glass-proof so that Jani couldn't enter. Hearing this, Bindu comes to meet Sudeep, and seeing the correct opportunity opens a screw through a coin so that Jani could come in. After this, we see Sudeep being attacked brutally by Jani. He was so pissed by all this that he even started attending meetings by wearing a helmet. Sudeep was so distracted that he fumbled during his presentation, which angered others. In the meantime, Jani sat on the head of an investor, and Sudeep went to beat him. This repeats itself when Sudeep, in order to beat Jani, slaps an investor and breaks a vase on the head of another investor. After this, the investors inform the income tax department about it, and a raid is to take place. Seeing this, Sudeep goes to withdraw all his cash. But here again, Jani disturbs him, and he types the wrong password, which blocks the whole system. We then see Sudeep uses the fire machine to open the lock, but he was so distracted by Jani that he leaves the fire machine in the vault room, and his money is burned. We then see Sudeep meet a black magician who gives him 2 birds in order to kill Jani. We then see how Jani kills the birds by sticking one to a pipe and another to the electric board. The next day, we see Sudeep wonder how could the wasp get into the house, and he then checks the CCTV footage and sees how Bindu helped Jani. Then kidnaps Bindu and keeps her captive in his house and asks Jani to face him. After this, we see Sudeep again tries to kill Jani, but Jani escapes by throwing a needle at his feet. We then see Bindu escape and Sudeep fires laser gun at Jani, which he escapes. We then see that when Sudeep's bullets expire, Jani throws an iron ball at him, which rebounds and hits the electric wire, and we see a cross connection and the lamp hits Sudeep. Sudeep then sees Bindu and tries to catch her. Jani meanwhile follows him by means of a needle pointed towards Sudeep. After this, we see Sudeep capture Jani by using a magnet. After this, Sudeep frees Bindu and also brings out a piece of glass from his mouth and cuts Jani's wings and threads the needle on the back of Jani. Jani, however, notices that the tissue that was with the cannon had come off and the cannon was pointed at Sudeep, and in the backside was surrounded with gas cylinders. After this, Jani sits on the hand of Bindu and explains his plan and sprays some gunpowder on himself. In the next scene, see Sudeep chasing Jani with a burning matchsticks. Here we see Jani intentionally jumps into the fire and invades the cannon. As soon as this happens, we see the bullet from the cannon hit straight into Sudeep's chest, and then we see an explosion as the bullet rebounded of the cylinder. The explosion kills Sudeep. After a while, we see Bindu, who hit herself before the blast and hence was unhurt. Here we also see a wing of Jani also fell on her hand, which she made into a locket. In the ending scene, we see that Bindu is going somewhere and an insolent boy tries to tease her, which Jani prevents. Thus, the movie ends.